He puts out this video and you've got all of these blowhards on mainstream media and they're like, this is beneath the dignity of the office of presidency. And I'm like, I think that what is beneath the dignity of the office is spying on your political opponents. I think it's beneath the dignity of the office to have a deep state running things, to weaponize every single federal agency that you have to go after conservatives.
They are not fun. Normal people make fun of them because they take themselves way too seriously for no reason. You say one thing, you can't say that. You say this other thing, you can't do that. Me and I am a very serious person. I'm very smart. It's like, dude, no, you're not. You're stupid. Your degree is fake. You've accomplished nothing. Nobody knows who you are. Like, just stop. Just go out into the woods and lay down and just wait to die. That's what
Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. We are doing the show from the bunker today. We will be joined by the panel here in a little bit. But first, I just wanted to bring something to y'all's attention. It's been actual years now that I have been called crazy. I've been called hateful. I've been called a bigot, a transphobe, a homophobe, all the phobes. I've been called obsessed for saying that drag shows that are targeting children is actually grooming them. I'm obsessed with drag queens because I'm watching these grown men twerk in front of young children provocatively while sexually explicit lyrics play in the background. And I'm the crazy one. I'm the hateful one. Well, I have news. The other shoe just dropped because one of the very men who smeared me, who called me out by my name, you're going to be shocked to hear this. He's been exposed as exactly that, a sexual predator. How do you like them apples? Now, I'll get to the specifics in a minute, but here's the background. It's Storytime Hour. And by the way, I don't have to dress up as someone from the opposite gender to be able to sit here and share it with you. Isn't that nice? This is Kiba Walker. Kiba is a very ugly man, first of all, but also goes by the name Salem Moon when he performs in drag. And he was allegedly, I have to say that for legal reasons, allegedly busted for grooming underage children. So he's in this big group of grown-ass men who think that it's cute to go around Texas and the country doing these performances in front of young children. Specifically here in Texas, he was doing this drag trivia because who doesn't want to take their young child and come and sit and listen to drag trivia at a bar? This one was in Fort Worth. And they were like, please bring your kids. Oh, no, it's just for art. We just want to share them art. It's not that we're actually sexually attracted to them. But I'm just asking, as with this footage and practically all of the footage that I show you, does this look appropriate for young children? Is that appropriate for kids? There were a bunch of minors in the crowd being pushed by their mentally ill parents, as always, to hand these drag queens money, hand them dollar bills in true stripper fashion. You got to train them early, right? Now, this was billed as an all ages event. And so the left tries to constantly gaslight us, saying these drag shows are totally normal. They're totally safe. They're actually good for young children. That's what we are supposed to believe. The ADL says about anyone who dares to protest this, what we're seeing is this kind of normalization of the more extreme views. Oh, it's extreme. It's extreme to not want children to be sexually indoctrinated and groomed. That's extreme now, according to the ADL. The fact that people are using lies and false tropes, we've seen that before in history, and it never leads to anything good. It leads to hatred and violence. Now, let's kind of unpack that quote for a minute, okay? The same exact quote could be used to describe what these grown men dressing up as women are doing. Normalization of extreme views, I'd say it's a little extreme to pretend like you can become a woman. People using lies and false tropes. These are actual, like, what else could you, like, false trope is a perfect representation of what these men are doing when they dress up like women and pretend like they're us. It's nuts. I don't care. I actually don't care. I've always said this. I have never found the intrigue of a grown woman going to a club and handing off her hard-earned money or her husband's hard-earned money to a grown man that's impersonating them. But you do you, boo. I'm not here to patrol you on that. I'm not here to police you on that. But the moment that you involve children in your sexual exploitations, I got a big problem with it because it's called child abuse. Okay. So with my organization, Texas Family Project, we've done this whole big thing. And I mean, listen, I helped craft the legislation to shut down drag queens for kids. So we've been very instrumental in not only helping legislators, but also encouraging parents to speak up and protest all of these events through Texas Family Project. By the way, please go support our efforts at texasfamilyproject.com. And so I got put on this list by this Kiba, Salem Moon, large and in charge. I got put on a list. I have all these wigs. I have all these undercover, I don't want to call them a costume, but like stuff that I can wear to try to make it less obvious that I'm just a normal mom. They always can tell. I don't have the SSRI eyes. And so the drag queens, including that man that I already showed you, the very ugly one, they posted security at the doors who were checking ID for anyone who looked similar to me. Not everyone. And they denied me entry. And here's how I can give you proof. Because this man had the audacity to brag about it on stage.
And in the words of our good friend who we removed from the building, Sara Gonzales, the pressure worked, y'all. And, maybe drink wine alone. I don't know. But yes, she's no longer here, and she's not going to get in here and try to tarnish our amazing event. Thank you. Just want to let you know.
Isn't it? It's just so crazy to me that they have such a problem with me recording what they're doing. Like, if it's all good and it's all just a party and everything is safe for kids and there was nothing to worry about, what would be the harm in me going in there? I mean, I would look silly, wouldn't I? I would look silly if I went in there and all I recorded was just like people having a good time, nothing inappropriate going on. Wouldn't you want me to do that? I would look silly. And somehow they always find a reason to kick me out. And in this case, this dude bragged about it. So that's who this guy is, okay? He doesn't like me. Well, it turns out that he was accused of trying to groom underage boys. Uh-oh, some trouble for Kiba, who is the first to tell you that I'm the problem, I'm the crazy one, I'm just a bigot for saying that perhaps it's a bad thing when you have grown men who want to dress up and dance provocatively around young children. Maybe that's a red flag we should be looking into. Now, again, for legal reasons, I'll say, okay, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, which usually is the case, except I have receipts because the victims have been posting about it online. First victim goes by the online name of Blade and posted this big, long expose about this grown-ass man. My experience with Kiba Walker. A recount of events from my teenage years that left me with lingering issues building trust and real connections with people. I'm already incensed. It left me with lingering issues, building trust and real connections with people. This is what that grown man did to this young boy. He was 15 when he and Kiba met on Twitter, and Kiba slid into his DMs. He's a voice actor. Probably not anymore. How do you like them apples? He reached out and offered this young boy free singing lessons. Wow. What a nice gesture. That's when he started littering in sexual references here, there. Oh, just a joke. They're just jokes. Then that moved to flirting. And then, of course, requests to trade nudes. Now, for obvious reasons, those won't be shared, but he showed a list of pictures and videos. This boy, now an adult, was then a boy. A whole list of pictures that Kiba sent to him when he was 15 years old. Now, according to the guy that goes by the name Blade, the flirtation got more frequent. Kiba started sharing porn that he liked, and they made a game out of trying to arouse him while he was at school. By the way, he also asked for videos of the kid jerking off. But I'm the witch, right? I'm just being transphobic. I'm just being transphobic for saying that any grown man who wants to perform like that in front of children is the problem. Now things cooled off, and that's when Blade told him the sexting made him uncomfortable. Kiba said, "This is receipts. You've started hating me now because of the whole sexting shit." Blade, "I'm being honest. We're fine, but the sexting makes me slightly uncomfortable. I love talking to you. You're a fun person, and I don't get why people don't like you." I do, because he's a creep. So this 15-year-old is being far more adult and mature than he needed to be. I just backed off because I felt like I was giving off the wrong impression. Oh, so this 15-year-old thinks it's somehow his fault that this grown adult is preying on him. They stopped talking for a while, and then Kiba came back again when Blade was 16. And by the way, it's a different messaging platform, so that's why it looks different. So Kiba says, "I guess I'm just upset because I thought we'd at least talk more since, we've done shit together. LMAO." It's so funny that you're 16 and I'm joking about how I've been very, very sexually inappropriate with you, committed crimes, sending stuff to you that I shouldn't have. LMAO. I'm going to do something to you if you don't stop being all angsty. And if you haven't already been able to tell, young children shouldn't be in the room for this one. I will literally suck your into oblivion if you don't stop. It gets me very excited, and I want to tease you so badly. But unfortunately, you're sick and passing out. Dream of me aggressively blowing you. And then he goes on soliciting more images and videos and admits to watching the old ones of the 15-year-old. I know, you're sick. You're sick to your stomach. I'm sick to my stomach too. But I think it's important that we expose these people for who they really are, because I'm getting sick and damn tired of being told I'm just hateful. I'm sick and tired of being told, "Oh, well, when's the last time you could show me a drag queen that groomed children? It's just all the Christian pastors. It's all the Christian pastors. That never happens with drag queens." Now, I'd like to just go ahead and prove he, of course, knew how old this kid was, because he asked if it was his birthday in one of these messages. Because he says, "You're 17 now. Hashtag legal. So are we going to?" I could give you more. I could actually give you more. I'm not going to, because if you're sick to your stomach now, you would really be sick to your stomach if you saw the graphic nature of the rest of this. So his other accuser, I mentioned, there's not just one, there's another one. His other accuser compiled a document of similar evidence, and he put that online as well. Because this grown man, has damaged enough children that they have decided that they are going to go through the embarrassment. They shouldn't be embarrassed, but it's a normal human reaction. The embarrassment and the shame of putting this online for everyone to see, just so that they could expose this guy for the predator that he is. So what was it that Kiba said that we accused him of again?
And to those people trying to call us groomers and pedophiles and all these other nasty things. Children and restrict them.
Oh, to all the people calling us groomers and pedophiles, buddy, show me the lie. Show me the lie. And by the way, the exact moment, I did the timing of this. He was grooming young boys online when he made that comment several years ago in Fort Worth. When I showed up to expose his all ages event, and he had security kick me out and went on stage and bragged that they had kicked me out and called me the crazy one, and went on stage and made those remarks about, "Oh, people call us groomers and pedophiles." He was actively grooming young boys. You couldn't make it up if you tried. They will gaslight you into oblivion if you let them. They are guilty. By the way, he, it's not surprising, went into hiding online, deleting his accounts or making them private, as you can see here. But also, like, pick a pronoun. They, them, he, she. Like, shut the up. You need help. You need actual mental help. You need actual mental help so that you stop being attracted to young kids. And this is the whole crux of it, isn't it? I mean, you cannot give them an inch on this ideology. You cannot. If someone thinks that it is appropriate to dance provocatively in front of young children like that, to expose them to this type of sexual ideology, to expose them to strip club tipping culture, the end result of that, the logical end result of that, is that you will be inviting pedophiles in front of your children because no normal person thinks that this is okay. And by the way, the worst part of this story and why I'm telling you right now, this man has not been arrested or charged. He is still out there. He is still out there. He is still out there able to prey on your young children, especially if you're letting them online, especially if you're not monitoring them. So share the word, would you? I think the entire world should know about Kiba Walker and should know that he is a disgusting human being who preys and grooms young boys. I'm just so sick of talking about this. I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm so sick of all of these pedophile apologists, these groomer defenders. When are people going to wake up? This is just not okay. And most importantly, we need to make sure that this guy gets the justice that he deserves. All right. Make sure to share the show with a friend and subscribe on YouTube, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. We got more bangers for you if you subscribe to that, as well as my, we just had my episode drop on Come and Take It, which you can find on this same YouTube channel, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, on the Come and Take It playlist for things going around Texas specifically. So Relief Factor, let's thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. And then I want to bring in the panel. Relief Factor is there for those of you who have reached the age where things just hurt. Or maybe you were in a car accident, or maybe you had some sort of sports injury. The point is, if you're living with pain, that is where Relief Factor comes in, because it is an all-natural anti-inflammatory that was developed by doctors who were tired of giving their patients stuff that was making them loopy. They're like, we shouldn't do that. What could we do instead? Well, we could give them Relief Factor. And guess what? It's working for 70% of the people who buy that 3-week quick start. It's working for them. So the odds are in your favor that if you purchase that, it could totally change your life and get you pain-free. Try it, okay? It's $19.95 for that 3-week quick start, less than $1 a day, to see if it will work for you. And the odds are in your favor that it will. Go to relieffactor.com to get that 3-week quick start. That is relieffactor.com. You know, it shouldn't be surprising at all. You see polls like the latest one in Virginia for the attorney general race, and Jay Jones can go out there and threaten people, say, I hope people's kids die, double down on it. It's not a joke, not a joke, remember. Leaked text messages from young Republicans, total joke. They have their careers completely upended. Jay Jones actually doubling down and seriously saying that he hopes people's children die, totally fine, leading in the polls. And you look at that, and when you look at how many Democrats are willing to say that they like political violence at this point, it should not be surprising at all. Let me give you the latest. A man from Georgia was arrested for allegedly shooting at a North Carolina home after tearing down the Trump banner. Now, remember, just like the last segment, I say allegedly so that I don't get sued, because we have to say allegedly, but we come bearing receipts because there is video. This was back on September 6th. They finally got the guy, but as you can see, just what What an absolute loser. He pulls up after seeing the Trump sign. He starts tearing it down. And then while he's driving away, you'll see him hold a gun out the sunroof. There he is. And fire several rounds toward the home. So lovely. This is 37-year-old, 5'6", with lifts, probably, Benjamin Campbell. He was an accountant. He faces charges of felony assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflict serious injury, which now he's facing up to 17 years in prison. And so you see this happening with such accelerated rates. And you see, like the recent poll, YouGov asked, is it ever justified for citizens to resort to violence in order to achieve political goals? 30% of people aged 18 to 39 said yes. And even when you look at the older group there, look at that. I mean, look at the sheer, look at the gap. Then when you go a little bit older, 40 to 59, liberals are still double the percentage of conservatives. It's not until they hit 60 that they're like, oh, actually, maybe political violence is wrong. Maybe we had it wrong this whole time. This is not a both sides issue, and it never will be. I want to bring in the panel to discuss. We've got joining me now, Matthew Marsden, Blaze TV contributor, as well as John Doyle, the man, the myth, the legend, patriot John Doyle himself, who I feel blessed that we get to enjoy your presence, John. We've missed you. You don't have time for us anymore.
Yeah, I like doing the remote format. I get to be the most handsome guy in the room again. So maybe I'll stop by more often.
I get it. Well, actually, if your dog's in the room, I hear he's a very handsome guy. So.
Oh, I was staring daggers at him. I was like, if you make a noise, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna be like a Hassan Piker and shock you with a collar.
No, it's not. It's not. Actually, you're preaching to the choir right now, because we also, Matt also joined in his home studio, who has had issues with the dog in the past that I've heard after the fact. He's like, my dog came in, it was a total disaster. And I'm like, I had no idea. So it's totally fine. So on the topic of all of these, I mean, we see case after case after case after case, and you might be able to make the argument before Charlie Kirk was assassinated that, like, oh, it's just, they're just answering these poll questions because they don't actually know what it would be like if someone actually were to die. Well, we do. And these polls have been taken after the fact, and they still are just really, really enthralled with political violence, it seems. I mean, again, they pulled this poll back up. It really is terrifying to look at the stark contrast, specifically in the 18 to 39 ages, that many liberals are just completely off the reservation. It's hard to understand how we will be able to continue to share a country with these people, John.
Yeah, I think that you're right on that last. Well, you're right on all of it, of course, but especially that last part where we're concerning sharing a country with these people. I mean, probably both of you have siblings. I had siblings growing up. I'm sure many in the audience had siblings growing up. And one of the things you learn when you have siblings is that, there's no excuse for violence ever. You're not supposed to hit your sister. You're not supposed to hit your brother, though sometimes you maybe get more of a pass in the latter case. But the idea is that at the end of the day, we're all a family. And so we may have disagreements. We may butt heads. But we should never get to the point where we're really trying to kill each other. And if it gets to that point, there's something fundamentally wrong that's going to require some kind of, reckoning or something from the parents. That being said, if someone were trying to break into your house to harm you or harm your family, you're going to treat that person obviously with a much different standard because you don't owe them anything. They're some stranger. They decided to attack you. What happens after that is, in God's hands, I suppose. And I'm not advocating, by the way, for violence. I don't agree. I know that it sounds like that. What I'm simply saying is we have to understand that at a certain point, we don't owe these people anything. If they're trying to attack us and they're trying to incite violence against us in the media, we have to kind of respond to that with a proportionate response rather than just say, but we're all a family, we can all get along, because clearly that's not getting us anywhere. And I'm not advocating for breaking the law. I'm advocating for quite the opposite. I'm advocating for enforcing the law against these people so that they can't organize in these terror networks and continue to kill conservatives. And I would even take it further to say you shouldn't be allowed to broadcast to a mass audience language that is obviously inciting violence against normal Americans. That's what they're doing. That's the game. Whether it's the streamers or the legacy media, they're all saying this stuff and they all know the results from it. But then they get to say, well, I didn't call for it directly, therefore it's okay. okay, you've spent 10 years now saying two things. Everybody to the right of Hillary Clinton is a Nazi, and it is morally just to kill Nazis. Well, I didn't spell it out. Okay, well, if you have an IQ above like 85, you should be able to like kind of figure out what that means. And so that's exactly why this stuff is happening. So long as we continue to allow this to go on, not only just the organization, but also the media apparatus, which creates the social incentive for people to go out and find those organizations and participate, it's just going to continue. So I don't want violence. I want very legal and very cool strategies to make this stuff go away.
That's actually I have that on a shirt of President Trump. That's one of my very favorite things that he's ever said. I kid you not. I actually do. Matt, what are your thoughts?
No, I mean, of course, I agree with you, and I agree with John. I think that I think the time has come now, and I'm an absolute free speech advocate. But we cannot have people out there saying Nazi, fascist, and white supremacist. We just cannot do it because, as we've said, feel like a broken record. We've said this many, many times on the show. What it does, as John was alluding to, is it gives people permission to do violence against those people that are being termed that way. And it needs to stop, and it can stop tomorrow on X. You're not allowed to say the N word on X, and I'm completely okay with that. And I think
are you not?
That they should.
Are you not allowed?
No.
This is a genuine question. I didn't know that.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't. But this is a bigger problem, Sarah. I think what you're looking at when you're looking at the demographics, you have younger people who never had their asses whooped. Because I can tell you this. Most definitely, there's a reason why the conservatives there are down towards the bottom, because they would have a spanking if they did something wrong when they were kids. And look, no one would advocate for beating a child, but I think a quick slap on the tush. And listen, everyone's done it. I know everyone's going to say that they don't, but every conservative's done it. And the fact of the matter is these people live in a world where they've never had to have any consequences. They've never been involved in any fights at school. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who said he's a Gen X, and he said, listen, my kids, and I'm glad for this actually. I don't want my kids to get into fights. But at the end of the day, there has to be consequences for actions. And this in conjunction with the participation trophy generation has created these people that violence is almost like a fantastical thing to them. They've grown up playing video games. They don't think it's real. They're talking about shooting guns and violence. It's not real to them, Sarah. And like I said, when you're a little kid and you get just this little slap on the tush for doing something like sticking a knife into a plug socket, then you don't do it again. Well, none of these kids have had any consequences their whole lives. And so it's bleeding over, and then they're enabled in schools as well, because there's no kind of punishment in schools. And then, as we're seeing with the Obama justice system and the Biden justice system, they're not even getting punished when they get out. So what's the disincentive for them?
Right. Yeah, I mean, and then they go all rally together over the weekend that we saw in these No Kings protests, where they were all joking and mocking the assassination of their political opponents. Very, very strange behavior. So I want to bring up another thing while I have you guys here. It's so crazy because there are all of these crazy right-wing nut job conspiracy theories that end up, turns out they were true all along, because liberals would tell you that there is no one who is here illegally who would be registered to vote. No non-citizens on the rolls. What are you talking about? Voter fraud does not exist. It's just a myth, except Texas just found thousands of illegal immigrants registered to vote on the state voter rolls. Secretary of State Jane Nelson, who, by the way, I don't even trust. I don't trust. So like whatever she's uncovering, you can guarantee that there's way more. 2,724 potential non-citizens flagged through federal database crosscheck. That's how many she says that they have found. And it's just so shocking. It's like we just keep finding all of these crazy, like really solid, airtight evidence of voter fraud. And Democrats will still tell you until they're blue in the face that never happens, and except for all of the times that it does happen, John.
Yeah, Democrats are a lot better at politics than Republicans are. Everything that they do, time investment they make comes with a power dividend. So they don't do anything that doesn't give to them a little bit more power. You obviously open the borders up, refuse to enforce laws. You can then inflate the power of Democrats in states because the census is going to report higher numbers, or because obviously these people are voting. There's more power for the Democrats. You legalize marijuana, makes people like stupid and like pacified. They vote for Democrats or they disengage from the political process. There's more power for you. Like everything they do, you can't think of a single like Democrat initiative or policy that doesn't bring them more power. Climate change is another great example. So, yeah, I guess that, similarly to what we were talking about just a few moments ago, we have to respond to that, not by getting down into the mud and, cheating, but just by simply like playing the game and doing what we should do, rather than listening to like the rhinos who just want to do nothing to stop these people from destroying our country.
Yeah. Amen. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, we knew. I mean, even if you look back at the 2020 election, I still maintain that Donald Trump won it. And they kept telling us that that wasn't the case. But we've all known that something was very, very wrong with the system. And I think that the greatest thing about this, with the uncovering of this fraud, is that Trump is attacking it on multiple levels, right? So he's closing the border, so we're not having more illegals come over, which we all know that was the game plan from the left, bring in illegal voters, although they don't vote. But we all know they vote, right? So anyway, Trump is cutting that off. He's deporting people. And now we have people involved in government. Don't ever think they're going to do it in California. But I mean, they should be doing it at least in Texas, going through and getting all these illegals off. And if this is the case, I'm telling you, if they go through these voter rolls and make sure that all the dead people aren't on it, or all the people that are illegal are struck off, they're not going to win an election in the next 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point to bring up. What was it? A couple years ago now, I guess, I did the Blaze Originals documentary where I went to John's home state of Michigan, and we went through all of the ways that the Secretary of State there has made it just way harder for them to purge the voter rolls from any sort of fraud, any sort of dead people who have been on there. And I mean, we went to a cemetery and we were finding I say it jokingly, but like we were finding all these voters at the cemetery, and it's like, oh, they died 100 years ago, but somehow they still voted in the 2020 election. Odd. I have no idea how that's happened. And to see the who is it? Jocelyn Benson? Did I get that name right?
I don't know. Probably.
You don't even know. You don't even know.
Of course you do.
Jocelyn
Of course
Benson.
You got it. You know what I know? You know what I trust more than my own knowledge? Sara Gonzales and her program, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. So
that's right.
That's probably correct.
Well, she went in and intentionally made it more difficult, and guess what? She's connected to George Soros. So I get it that the Democrats want to make fun of us and say, oh, that's just kooky right-wing conspiracy theory. You just tie everything you don't like to George Soros. Well, no, it's just that he's very, very rich and he involves himself in all of these schemes to try to drag the country more left. I don't know what more proof we need other than all of the literal proof that's right in front of us. And still they'll call us, right-wing conspiracy theorists. All right, we've got more to come, but I want to go ahead and take a moment to thank our sponsor here, Craftco, because we love Craftco. We love Craftco because what they do, it's very, very simple. They are America first with their bourbon. They actually have this wonderful, delicious bourbon made from American grains. And you could go there to their website and you could find, they've got flavored ones if you like the, different types of flavors. I just prefer just straight up, unapologetically American, bold, balanced whiskey. And so not only are you getting a whiskey that is made from American sources, you're also getting a whiskey from a company that supports American tradition and American values. They do things like donate money to Folds of Honor, which is, of course, providing scholarships for the families of America's fallen. So if you want a true patriotic America First company, and also you love great whiskey, this is a win-win for you. Go to flyingacespirits.com, use promo code BLAZE for free shipping. That is flyingacespirits.com, promo code BLAZE. So I referenced yesterday that this White House has been just completely epic in the way that they have run social media. Whoever is running all of their accounts, including President Trump's, which I like to believe that it is him. Even if it's not true, it's what I like to believe, and I'm going to believe it until the end of time, is just a masterclass on how to manage the optics and, change the narrative when you're dealing with onslaught from the left. And so I just want to go through some of these from the troller in chief, as I like to call him, which let's do. This first one was the Top Gun video that I said that I referenced yesterday, where he's, of course, poking fun at the No King's Day. And so he's riding in a fighter jet with a crown on, of course, dropping shit on Harry Sisson. That's like probably one of the greatest of all time. And it's actually the funniest thing about this video. And then I want to get your thoughts, guys. The funniest thing about this video is it's not just the video, which, as I said, is epic, but it's also the fact that CNN has had to, they consider themselves very serious businessmen. And so they sit there with a very straight face and they have to actually talk about it. And it's just funny. Here's Scott Jennings on CNN.
Do you think it's making a point, Scott?
Well, yeah, he was making a point. I mean,
point?
why shouldn't the president use a made-up video to respond to a rally that has a made-up reason? I mean, it's a non-existent reason. We don't have a monarchy in this country. We have a presidency won by Donald Trump, who won the popular vote, who won the Electoral College, who won all the swing states. We have a democracy. People voted, and they elected the president, and the only thing they're mad about is that he is lawfully executing the office of the presidency and enforcing laws that have been on the books for a long time. So he made up a video. They made up a reason to have a rally. And I think it was kind of funny, to be honest with you.
To me, this is the way. Like, this method should be the new method. It should be recreated by President J.D. Vance when that happens. I'm like, got my lips to God's ears, I hope, because this is the way. If these people want to take to the streets and cry about having no kings, which obviously we don't have, that's the entire point of the country. You go out there, you interview them. They have no idea what they're even fighting for, what they're arguing for, what they would say that Donald Trump is doing that is actually making him appear as if he's a king. They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Why not mock and shame them? They don't seem to respond to logic. They don't seem to respond to reason. Maybe they'll respond to the mock and the shame. And more importantly, they very much deserve it. I don't like them. Matt, I'll let you take this one first.
Well, let me say this. If Donald Trump had never become president, you would never see anything like this. Never. Yeah. What he's done is he's a disruptor, and it was absolutely necessary because Republicans think that they have to play by the rules when the other side aren't playing by the rules. So this is asymmetrical warfare, and the Democrats knew it. And they would say one thing and the Republicans would panic. Oh, all their advisors get in their ears, right? Optics, you can't do that. And Trump has come along and he's disrupted it all. And it had to happen because we are dealing with a communist uprising in the United States of America. So what he's doing is he is absolutely negating the mainstream media. They can't do anything. They know, how are you going to go after a guy, number one, that you tried to kill, but secondly, who is putting out memes of or videos of him with a crown dropping crap on people? It's absolutely brilliant. And I hope we get to a point, Sarah, where we can go back to a more civil society, but we can't do that while we've got communists coming up with BS reasons for going and protesting.
Yeah. He puts out this video and you've got all of these blowhards on mainstream media and they're like, this is beneath the dignity of the office of presidency. And I'm like, I think that what is beneath the dignity of the office is spying on your political opponents. I think it's beneath the dignity of the office to have a deep state running things, to weaponize every single federal agency that you have to go after conservatives. I think that that's beneath the dignity of the office. So I guess we're on two totally different wavelengths here because you guys have been beneath the dignity of the office for literal decades. We're just using a more effective strategy this time around, John.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. You only get to invoke the dignity of the office if you yourself are even worthy of it in the first place. Like if you could bring like the founding fathers back, say you've got like 10 random names from the Constitutional Convention, and then you are like number 11 and they're all having a very serious discussion about, statesmanship and diplomacy, and then you're there like making memes. That's probably like immature to say the best. Like you probably should just, see yourself out. However, if you more or less have been running the country for the last 50 years, red tie, blue tie, more or less, it's been the same thing. And you've proven that you're not only completely incapable of governing, you're also like profoundly annoying, then you actually don't get to invoke that either. I would much rather have Donald Trump be competently running the country and then also be funny on the internet than I would the latter, because the left, and this is what's so good about Trump, he really is like a perfect messenger. And everyone always gets this backwards. Chicken versus egg. They're like, John Doyle's saying that because he's such a Trump shill. No, I am such a Trump shill because all of these things about him are just so true. And he's just so great. Not only can he get them to defend the most indefensible positions, the trans stuff, the what have you, open borders, whatever. He is very good at playing to the strength that we have and exploiting their weakness, which is that they are hall monitors. They are not fun. Normal people make fun of them because they take themselves way too seriously for no reason. You say one thing, you can't say that. You say this other thing, you can't do that. Me and my hall, I am a very serious person. I'm very smart. It's like, dude, no, you're not. You're stupid. Your degree is fake. You've accomplished nothing. Nobody knows who you are. Like, just stop. Go out into the woods and lay down and just wait to die. That's what, if my dog was like that, like if my dog had that kind of a virus in his mind because he is a noble being, he would just excuse himself and go lay down in the woods and wait to die. He would be like, I'm really slowing this operation down, aren't I? I can't even feed myself anymore. I can't even walk. You know how dogs get when they're really old. And they just go and they just wait to die. That's what a noble species does. But Democrats are disgusting, and they make us all put up with them in the meantime. And so, yeah, more videos, more AI. I hope that they're tormented. I hope their cortisol spikes. I hope they have heart attacks because of a combination of the vaccine. I can't say that. Because of a combination. Sorry, I'll stop.
He was joking.
That's what confession's for, John. You're okay.
Yeah, that's right.
It was just his passion for the country that came out right there.
But God forbid a patriot have a little bit of a go off moment. I thought this was a free speech network. That's why I'm not allowed in studio, by the way. That's why I'm remote. I literally am not allowed to step
lying.
On the
lying.
Property.
This is how rumors get started, John. This is actually how rumors get started. Okay, so another person you can add to the mix of what John's talking about with these people who are like beside themselves having heart palpitations over this is Kenny Loggins, because the video uses his song Danger Zone. And he's like, I'm demanding the removal of this video because I didn't give him permission to use my song. Well, it's fair use. It's fair use. By the way, the Hollywood online publication Variety wanted a statement from the White House on Kenny Loggins' demands. And they're like, we got him. We got him, guys. We're going to ask him for statement because Kenny Loggins actually is crying about this. And in response to Variety's request for comment, a representative for the White House sent back the Top Gun meme that you see there. I feel the need for speed, and they're just high-fiving each other. And then, there's the your mom texts, which I could get into. The point is, you had a very liberal, disgusting, I don't even want to call him a reporter, but I believe this was SV Date, and asking Caroline Levitt, is the president aware of the significance of Budapest? In 1994, Russia promised in Budapest not to invade Ukraine if it gave up the nuclear weapons it inherited when the Soviet Union dissolved. Does he not see why Ukraine might object to that site? Who suggested Budapest? Thanks. And Caroline just said, your mom did. So this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, why should we take you guys seriously? You don't even take yourselves, you take yourselves too seriously, but you shouldn't, because you're not serious people. Because if you were serious people, you would appreciate the policies that President Trump has implemented in order to actually put America first. But you're not serious people, and we shouldn't treat you like one. And so I just think that it's just so beautiful that President Trump has found such a great team. I mean, think about the contrast between Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0, where Trump 1.0, there were nobody was loyal. There were leaks all over the place. People were like writing anonymous op-eds in the New York Times about how they needed to, get President Trump out because he wasn't fit for office. And now he has a bunch of Trump loyalists who will go in there and make your mom jokes to reporters. I'm just here for it. I'm here for it, John.
It's so true. There was a handsome young guy who used to show up on this show and make those promises back in 22, 23 that Trump 2.0 would be something to behold, to essentially the same vein you're describing. But I think that you're absolutely right when you say that these are fundamentally unserious people. It is actually less cruel to send them your mom jokes and send them videos of themselves having like animal feces or something dropped on them. It would be cruel to get down to their level and treat them like you would a serious political actor and get down there and be like, that's such a good point about a threat to democracy. That is not nice to them. That's like, when you shut down the city so a cancer kid can pretend to be Batman for a day. It's like, it's not, you have to treat these people how they are, which is just unserious people who deserve to be mocked. And yeah, that is actually the most dignified thing you can do for our political processes is to torment and exclude and bully the theater kids and the hall monitors out of it.
I agree. Matt, I'll give you last word. We got about a minute.
No, I think that this is going to be studied in the future as the way that they absolutely destroyed a false narrative. It is utterly brilliant. And I think that people can be flippant about it, but the fact that they've had the balls and the confidence to do this is absolutely unbelievable. Like you said, they don't care about those things, or the pearl clutching. We know that they don't care. We know, as you said, they're unserious, and this is absolutely going to be studied. Mark my words, within the next 20 years on how to conduct a political campaign.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, John Doyle, Matt Marsden, I appreciate it. Hey, we may have to start changing my taping time. Again, this is the only reason that John could join us. We may have to start changing my taping time every once in a while so John doesn't have an excuse not to join us. I appreciate
God
both
forbid
of
the
you
world
guys.
doesn't revolve around Sara Gonzales for one day.
Oh, my God. All right, go. Get him out of here. All right. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Okay. Want to thank our sponsor before we go to break here. Cove Pure. So the people in charge of governments can't fix a pothole, but they were like, definitely the drinking water's safe. Yeah, don't trust that, because ask people in Flint, Michigan how that turned out. They had lead, heavy metals, rust, basically liquid poison straight from the tap. That is why Cove Pure exists. This is a water purifier to keep your family safe. And unlike the government, Cove Pure actually does its job. And so I'm just saying, if you need something to take out all these contaminants, they have Clearwave technology that removes up to 99.9% of contaminants, lead, PFAs, pharmaceuticals, you name it. No plumbers, no drilling. You just plug it in your countertop. You plug it in on your countertop. You set the temperature you want on the touchscreen, and it actually tastes like good water. Go to covepure.com/Sarah. You can get $200 off while supplies last. That is covepure.com/Sarah. There was so much that I actually wanted to get to today, and we just didn't get a chance, including Karine Jean-Pierre actually has a new book, and she is making the rounds. And Karine Jean-Pierre for a very long time was ignored by the leftist media because she was like, our guy is what they were thinking, I think. And now it's actually very embarrassing to watch her flounder as they actually ask the tough questions. Could have used those about 4 years ago, guys. So if we have time tomorrow, I would love to get into that. But also before we go, if you guys have not yet checked out our merch, make sure that you go do that. It is sarahmerch.com. We've got something for everyone in your life. We've got something for the MAGA lover. MAGA is for lovers. We've got something for the Maha lover, Maha Moms Club. You can go get you some of that. We've also got the classics like support your local ICE raids and more. So make sure that you go check that out. If you're a true patriot, of course. If you're not a patriot, don't check it out. If you are a patriot, make sure that you go to sarahmerch.com. And that is it for me from the bunker. I should be back with you for regularly scheduled programming from the studio tomorrow. See you then.